Hey guys, Coach Avery here. I am not going to be able to be at school here for just a couple of days. Who knows how long this thing's going to play out? But I have been exposed to COVID, so um, we'll see how this thing plays out. I feel fine, but obviously I've got to do what's best to take care of my family. Um, so today we're going to go through, and I'm going to go through the syllabus as if I was in class today. Um, feel free to obviously you can comment on Google Classroom if you have questions. You can shoot me an email if you have questions. But I'll be back sooner rather than later, uh, for sure. Either way, I'm going to get my face off this screen so you guys can just kind of focus on the syllabus itself. But again, please feel free to let me know if you have anything. So first of all, I just want to welcome you guys to this semester and know that I'm looking forward to working with you guys. This has been a crazy year already so far, but the resilience of the students of Union County and our community in general has been amazing. And, whether we're in school every day this semester, like we were last semester, or we're in school for 3 weeks and then out for the rest of the semester, I just want you guys to know that, I look forward to it, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that we cover some things and talk about some very important things in our lives. Economics is the study of decision making. A lot of people think it has to do with money, but money are just one of those things that impact the decisions that we make and are impacted by the decisions that we make. A lot of things that have nothing to do with finances are still very important decisions. And these are things that we'll be talking about throughout the semester. So just kind of starting off with some basic housekeeping stuff. Whether you're in class, whether you're online, reaching out to me via email or whatever, please be polite. Please be well-mannered. You're going to be asked to do things like, if you're not going to be in class, you're going to be asked to email me and let me know. Please don't just say, hey, I ain't going to be there today. Instead, please address it professionally. Something as simple as, hey, Mr. Avery, I'm not going to be able to be in class today. Please let me know if there's anything I need to do. Whatever questions you may have, if you've already looked over the notes that we're going to do that day, whatever, just please be professional and please be polite in the way that we go about doing these things. Please know that we have a lot of discussions in this class. And opinions are great. They're welcome. They're a big part of the learning process in economics because, again, economics is about decision making, and everybody's decisions are based on their scenario, not yours or mine. Next thing, come prepared. You will have to have a Chromebook for this class. You must have a school issued Chromebook. You'll need to have it with you when you're in class. If you're a virtual student, you obviously need to have that every day. Be responsible for your own academic success by being willing to communicate. And one of the big things that I think that we can learn from this whole scenario is people have to be willing to self-advocate. If you need something, you got to let me know. I don't know that. I communicate with students a lot less face-to-face now than we did 5 years ago. People are always on the run and things like that. And a lot of times that has led to a little bit of a lack of communication from the student side. So please be willing to do that. A couple of things is going to be important for you. First of all, PowerSchool. It is your responsibility to check PowerSchool daily. I suggest to all students to set up PowerSchool for notifications on your phone. That way, every time I put in a grade, it updates not only your course average, but it updates the grades of the certain assignments that I put in. Remember, this is a means to help yourself so that you're standing in the class. Late work. This is a little bit different than what some other people do. Just know this. If it is late by 1 minute, it's late. It's a 50% decrease in the grade. Right? And we'll talk more about how that applies to each of our different assignments a little bit later. But just know late work is 50%. So assignments submitted with no name, 50%. And please know that, there are really no excuses for late work unless they're up front. So if you know you're not going to be able to turn something in, you need to let me know up front. Don't wait until afterwards, because again, excuses are built in. And I put this on my syllabus because I really do believe it's that important. The excuse of no internet is simply not an excuse. In 2020, it is my dog ate my homework, because I can't prove whether you really do have internet or really you don't have internet. So you could use it for every single assignment, for every single class. And if we let it fly, you would never have to do anything, right? So please know you're going to be asked to solve that problem in a different way. And again, communicate with me if there is a problem, and especially a big issue. Please let me know. Makeup work needs to be done as quickly as possible. Makeup test, the test will be given online. At home, take-home test on Fridays. So if you're unable to complete that test, you need to let me know beforehand that you're not going to be able to do that, and then we'll figure something out. If not, the test is considered late. While in class, obviously this is a big deal in the time of COVID, that staying stationary in your seat is very important. Another thing, sanitary. Please be clean. This is a senior level class, even though I know there's some students in this class that are not seniors. You chose to take an advanced class. So I'm going to treat you like seniors who are adults. Communication. Students are responsible for checking their student email daily. Please know that. Email will be the official means of communication in this course, so therefore, please make sure that you are checking that every day. And if you need something, you're letting me know. While we're in class, communication-wise, please raise your hand during class discussions. And I'll talk more about this when we start our first kind of couple of discussions and debates in class. I like to do these. I love it when people interact, but obviously that can be a bad thing if everybody's trying to talk at the same time. Please know, technology. While I think that cell phones and computers are the greatest resource that humankind has ever had, they are also a major distraction. Everybody is guilty of it, including Coach Avery, of being distracted by technology sometimes, right? So what I want us to be able to do is not be distracted during my class. So if I see cell phones, if I see you on a computer and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, I will take those devices and give them to Mr. McCann in the front office, and he will call your parents and they will need to come and pick them up. It really is the simplest thing I've ever had to do. You only have to do it once or twice, and then all the students will realize that it's real. Student policies and procedures. Each day when you come in, you will be asked to complete a question on Google Classroom, or maybe it's an activity or an assignment on Google Classroom. It will be done every day. That is your attendance, whether you're in class, virtual, quarantined, or just absent for the day. Everyone must complete those every single day. If you are quarantined or virtual and you do not complete it, you will be counted absent that day. Down here to the bathrooms and leaving class, things like that. Obviously, that's not something we're encouraging during the times of COVID. We don't want people all over the place. But I get it. If you need to go, I'm going to let you go. But please remember, we don't need to make up excuses. Excuses are built in everything we do in our life. If you didn't want to come to school today, you could have convinced somebody to not make you go. Same thing applies to work. The same thing will apply to your job every day of your career. The reality of it is if you want to solve that problem, you can, right? Don't make up excuses to not do the things you're required to do. Students are going to be required to provide their own materials. Again, school issued Chromebooks are required for this course. I know many students love their own computers and don't like using the school Chromebooks, and I apologize for that, but all students must have a school issued Chromebook for this class, because your test, your exams that I give for my class are going to be required to be taken on a school issued Chromebook. Other things, pencils, color pencils, highlighters, things like that. Bring those things, and I'll kind of let you know when we're going to use them. But we draw a lot of charts, a lot of graphs. I use a lot of colors when I am drawing these charts and graphs on the board to try to indicate different things. And I suggest you guys do it too. So when you're studying or using your notes on your test, you have exactly what you need. Next thing is the class grading percentages. 50% are your tests, your projects, and your journal checks. 30% will be daily assignment, multi-step assignments, and pop quizzes. Now, pop quizzes, please don't worry about that. I very rarely give pop quizzes, and when I do, it's not ever a gotcha. It's not trying to get people who weren't paying attention or anything like that. Instead, it's trying to figure out what people do and don't know that are in the class, so I can kind of adjust how I teach some things. And then the final in this class is worth 20%, the final exam. So as you've seen this on every syllabus from all the teachers in the school, I just need to go through this online learning expectations. Whether you're in class or virtual, you should check Google Classroom every day and complete that critical thinking question or activity. You must check your school email daily. We will have some meetings, some Google Classroom meetings and stuff like that outside of regular class time. But a lot of times that's going to be small group. It's not for everybody at the same time. And we'll cross that path when we get there. But please also complete and submit assignments by the due date. Just know, whether you're virtual, whether you're in class, tardiness is one of those things that I feel is a very important real world application. Doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it will carry over to things throughout your entire life. And I believe that's very important. And then also, please know, you can email me anytime. That doesn't mean I'm going to be able to get back to you immediately. So if we're taking a test and you shoot me an email about a question, I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. If you email me at 11 o'clock at night, it's not going to happen. It'll be the next day before I'm able to respond to that. I'm old and I go to bed early. Traditional face-to-face students are going to be expected to, again, every day check their email, complete those assignments on Google Classroom, keep up with the schedule, attend classes that we may have outside of the regular classroom. Make sure that you bring your Chromebooks every day, and then know that on Fridays we'll be doing assignments. Every Friday we will have something that we're doing, and you'll see more about that when I get into start to explain Unit 1. I'm going to call your attention here to the spring 2021 unit schedule. There are 7 units in this class. As you can see, each unit name is here. We will be reading, starting with Unit 2, we'll be reading the book Freakonomics. So this is a book that you'll be tested on each unit along the way, just 5 questions from each chapter. Notice here you've got a recycled product project due in Unit 3. You've got a midterm exam After Unit 4, you've got a big project called the This Is Me project that we'll work on pretty much all semester. We'll talk about it all semester. And then you've got your final exam at the end of the class. Throughout this course, there are a number of assignments that are repetitive. And a lot of you guys see this stuff in other social studies classes, so I don't have to spend a ton of time with it. But it's this. The first thing every day, I refer to critical thinking as our opening activity. Sometimes it may be as simple as, it's an opinionated question. Do you think that the federal government should give stimulus checks to people during a global pandemic? And we'll talk about the good, the bad, and the evil that comes with that. And we'll debate on those types of things. Other times it may be activities where you're going to get a resource. You're going to have to read an article. You're going to have to analyze a chart or a graph and share your thoughts on that. We do that every day. Essays. There is one essay due every unit. Now, the units are 10 days each, so 2 weeks. So you have one essay every 2 weeks. These essays are very short. 300 to 400 words equates to 3 long or 4 short paragraphs. You'll answer one of these for every unit. Now, again, anything after it's due, anything that's late will be 50%. Multi-steps. You guys have been in social studies classes before at Union County High School, then you have done multi-steps. Well, same thing here. We do one every unit, and we will have step 1. If you complete only step 1, you get a 50. Step 1 and 2, you get a 70. Steps 1, 2, and 3, you get an 80. 1 through 4, a 100. And all 5, you will get a 110. This is your only opportunity for bonus points. So don't think that I offer bonus points elsewhere. Don't come begging me for any other types of bonus points. I just don't do that. I don't think it's fair to the people who have done everything they're supposed to do all semester. So take advantage of these bonus points if you think this is a class that you're going to struggle with. Also, anything that's late is 50%. So if you do the 110, but you turn it in late, you're going to get a 55 in the grade book. Exams. Each unit, so every other Friday, there's going to be a 50-question exam. It will actually be posted on Thursday at 3 o'clock to be completed by Friday at midnight. A lot of times students prefer just to knock it out Thursday afternoon, and they don't have to do anything for Econ on those Fridays. No, if it is submitted after Friday at midnight, you will get a 50% of that grade. So if you end up earning an 88, you're going to get a 44 in the grade book if it was turned in late. Please make sure that you know that. Also, economics tests, my economics tests are going to be different than other classes. Just know that. You'll see what I mean more so when we get there and we start talking through this stuff. But just know, econ tests are more like a math class. You can't just study one thing and be able to regurgitate a definition. Instead, you're going to have to know a concept and apply a variable. So, for example, we may be talking about taxes, and I may use the example of a bicycle shop, and how that bicycle shop is impacted by different regulations or different taxations. Well, on your test, I may be giving you an example of a flower shop. Well, you'll have to think about how some of those things that we talked about would apply to the flower shop the same way they did the bicycle shop, that type of thing. So it's not going to be just word for word, which of the following is the best definition for this type of tax. Also, projects. Students tend to really like the projects. I get a lot of really good reviews about the projects in this class. The 2 big ones we'll talk about throughout the semester, the upcycle project or the recycled product project and the This Is Me project. We'll also have a budget simulation, which will be what we do on the Fridays that we don't have a test. And then we'll have the midterm and the final exam that are worth 200 points each. So they're worth 2-unit test each. So obviously those are pretty big deals. All right. Well, that's it. That's what I've got for the syllabus today. You guys will be getting a Google form to kind of click through to answer some questions and work your way through my website and things like that. Again, I'll be back as soon as possible, and we will get this semester rolling. All right. Have a great day.